Welcome into s.t.e.m. I'm excited to talk about today's episode because I'm curious to see what you'll think of the topic. We're going to talk about cultivated meats, aka meats grown in a laboratory. There's various reasons people are interested in enabling this, like to potentially help lower the environmental impact of eating meat or helping with the food shortage issues. While the technology has been around since 2013, recently they've made great strides in furthering progress. Let's get nerdy and discuss the technology that may truly push the boundaries for foodies.
You're watching s.t.e.m. Today we'll tackle one STEM topic I learned from experts. Just 4 key questions with each answer under 1 minute or less.
Lab-grown, also known as cultured meat, is similar to lab-grown diamonds. It's meat grown in a laboratory that replicates what would happen in nature. Whereas lab-grown diamonds replicate what would happen in the earth, lab-grown meat replicates what happens within an animal like a chicken or a pig. The concept is part of a newish type of engineering called tissue engineering that's combined with stem cell biology and bioprocess engineering. Tissue engineering is primarily focused on creating tissues or organs within the medical field to replace or augment what's available today. Think growing skin for a burn victim or growing an organ for testing. It was then expanded to this idea of cellular agriculture. In order to grow meat, scientists start with stem cells from a live animal, similar to how they would start with cells to grow tissues for a human. The cells are placed in a bioreactor and fed various nutrients like what an actual animal needs to grow, amino acids, vitamins, etc. The cells then multiply and grow to create meat. Because the meat is grown in a controlled environment, one perk is it is considered cleaner than live animal meat as it doesn't contain hormones or the other negative byproducts of what animals consume. The bioreactor is the key piece of technology that enables the cellular growth process to happen. It is a covered cylindrical container that can be as small as something you put on a desk to something larger than a car and is made of glass or metal. It creates a super controlled environment in which scientists and engineers can control the temperature, gas distribution, pH, and movement of nutrients and oxygen. You can think about a bioreactor the way a space station works. Everything about the environment is highly regulated and thought through to make an optimal environment. In the case of a bioreactor, to optimize a biological process. There's a couple key components within the bioreactor that allow this to happen. Mixing systems help manage the balance of ingredients in the container so they're evenly and appropriately distributed. Sensors are crucial to ensuring the right amount of items in the container. All of the things it controls, like temperature and gas, can be monitored through sensors, and through control systems can be adjusted to stay within appropriate ranges. Temperature and gas exchange systems are crucial connections to maintain the right levels based on what the sensors measure, meaning push things in and out. Last but not least, the nutrients and oxygen needed to feed the growth of the cells are fed into the bioreactor through pumps and batch systems. Cell growth within the body follows a typical process. In order to make lab-grown meat, they have to replicate this. While the bioreactor can ensure the optimal environment to grow, within the bioreactor, you have to create the optimal structural environment that mimics how cells react within a natural body. In order for cells to grow in a human or animal, most require something called anchorage dependence. It's our body's way of protecting itself from unnecessary cell growth by only growing when it recognizes it's within a tissue. Within a bioreactor, something called a scaffold is used, which is a biomaterial that is 3D and resembles the natural extracellular matrix of animal tissue. This can take a few forms, but basically creates the skeleton of the cultured meats. During the initial growth phase, small scaffolds are used. As diversity and maturation of cells occurs, larger scaffolds and other things like putting in specific natural ingredients or stretching the cells are done through the technology already integrated into the bioreactor. The other element that needs to happen within the bioreactor is the creation of a vascular network, because this is how the meat does crucial functions like get nutrients or remove waste across a bigger distance. This area isn't actually something that's been fully solved for and is being tested via a combination of scaffolds, bioprinting, and proteins. There are a few significant areas that still need to be solved before cultured meats become a reality. Replicating the complexity of the animal body is not easy, so it's no surprise that even with extensive research in the area, figuring out how to create the exact cell structure that acts like natural cells in terms of elasticity or function, and doing this at scale is a big problem. In addition, in creating a vascular system, they need to ensure it will last over a long period of time and stay connected to the host system, aka the system within the bioreactor, and replicate the complex network of arteries, veins, etc. The sensory aspects of meat we enjoy come from the natural structural elements and chemical reactions that happen within an animal, which are yet to be fully replicated. For example, cultured meats to date typically result in less organized fibrous growth, which leads to a mushy texture. Also, it can't have fat marbled in the way natural meat is because of how lipids form. Taste, on the other hand, is difficult because a lot of the flavor in meat relates to what animals eat, which cultured meats don't have. No surprise that cost is an element, but this is common in any initial endeavor and one people don't focus on until they can actually find a viable solution. Understanding the science of it made me a little more comfortable with the concept, but I'm glad I don't have to make a decision about this now. Let me know your reaction to the topic in the comments, and don't forget to like the page if you like the show. See you soon.